get rejected.
Okay, sounds good. Well, the whole block or just the transaction?
First thing is try to avoid doing things like that.
And it knows to keep mirrornet busy. What happens on mainnet can be executed on the mirror, and what we have.
It is preferable if someone tries to avoid doing things that likely would cause a conflict with try not to double spend it.
Plus, it's not part of the whole testing, so that makes sense. Okay, so then, but then the mirrornet would be spun. We would want to wait for the mirrornet to be spun against the release candidate, right? And
yeah, so I mean, we did one just recently, but obviously we had more changes. We ran one over the weekend even, but I think we should build a new one now with all the latest stuff, including the one fix I mentioned. So I'm guessing we'll need to do that probably today or tomorrow. And we'll put that up for Gandalf. Will put that up for download, and let's see. Gandalf just said something. You need the one without gap that we have in current instance. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that'll probably be today or tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow, I would guess, just given the load we've got. And I don't know, how long does it take Gandalf to generate a new block log and maybe dump state information? 2 days-ish. Okay. So we're probably talking, I guess, most likely Friday, or if not, on the weekend.
Okay, sounds good. Speaking of APIs, that means that HiveMind works against the current release candidate, quote unquote.
What works? Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Sorry, HiveMind.
Oh, yes, HiveMind works against the current release candidate.
Okay, and there's no...
Actually, either one works. I mean, you can do the half HiveMind or the other HiveMind. It just depends on the branch. There's two different branches. The develop branch has the regular HiveMind, and then I forget the name of the other one, but it's got some kind of name like half compatible sync.
Yeah, I see.
I think that's the branch that contains the half one.
Do you know the timeline for merging with half or not? When merging, sorry, is a half branch. I mean, okay.
What was the question?
Okay, my question is like, will merging the half-based HiveMind be more or less at the same time as Hardfork 26, or will it be in the coming month?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to say that's true, yes, but it's not. I mean, we're probably going to keep both branches for a little bit just so that we can test both versions independently.
Actually,
I mean, so in other words, because there's been changes made to HiveMind, and then there's been changes made to, for regular reasons, and there's also been changes made just for half. So I'm uncertain about doing. I think I'd like to keep both for a little bit until we've had, just a super amount of comfort about it.
Yes, actually, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Actually, I had quite. That's true that we need to have both versions available for some time, but I hope that we can do this way. That current develop HiveMind will be moved to the master branch and will stay official release candidate.
Okay.
And have compatible sync branch built directly on top of this develop. Then we can move to develop for the time when we decide to officially completely switch to the hub-based version, because this version has eliminated way to synchronize using HiveD RPC calls. So that's some functionality problem which can be related to some users, some API operators we would like to avoid. But I hope
for sure. I mean, there's no doubt we want both versions. And I think your proposal to just make the master the regular one and develop the new half-based one is a fine solution.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I was mostly afraid because half involves more. It's like a learning curve for node operators, and so I wanted to be sure that there isn't too much at once. Even though there is like a bunch of scripts.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, personally, I would like to have both around at the beginning. So, I think it'd be nice to have both available, is even on the even publicly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So I think I read on your post that you basically were expecting in the next 2 weeks or something, assuming no more issues for the release.
Yeah, I think that's the general plan. There's not a date yet set, but
yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean,
I expect to tag the release candidate in the next couple of days.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. In terms of libraries, the night changes are in, right?
Sorry, what was in?
The number, the new way to describe assets with numbers instead of
oh yes,
strings.
NAI, yes, and that yes, that code is all in.
Okay, cool. And the libraries, I assume, are compatible with it. Because I don't believe there is, in library-wise, since we didn't add that many new operations, all the libraries.
Are you asking if the libraries are still consistent, or will have problems? It's something that needs to be tested for sure. And so the library guys absolutely need to get the new version and test to see if they encounter any problems, just like the apps, of course, themselves need to. But I mean, you testing with the apps will be primarily exercising the libraries, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is anything wrong. I mean, as I think about it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily expect any problem, but it's, that's what we're running. That's what we need to do the mirror net testing for.
Yeah, exactly.
We're looking for API changes. I mean, it's very easy to introduce a subtle API change. We've seen a few. We had the issue with the get I think it was a get block API. No, it was the get block API or get account history API. I can't remember, one of the two, which was we're getting a slightly different format between the legacy format JSON and the other one on one of the calls. So these some of the changes with all the APIs we got, it's really, we have to be very, I mean, we've got a lot of tests for them, but there's just so many API calls to support in so many ways they can be called that we definitely want to do a thorough testing by the apps who may be using them in unusual ways. There could be one app that uses an API that no one else uses, or uses it in a way that no one else uses. So I really encourage anyone who's got an app to do their testing, do the testing themselves with their app against the new version.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so that kind of segues into my last thing. So to summarize, long story short, in the few next days, a mirror net will be spun. Wait, but then can we deploy witnesses on the mirror net? Oh, I guess then you can.
Yes, yeah. The way the mirror net works is, we can just anybody. We can basically, you can use your. I think if I recall, you can just use your own keys to do it. But Gandalf can correct me. And I think what we're doing right now is we run with on the mirror net, we have like a skeleton key, and that skeleton key allows us to be any witness.
Gandalf is making jokes in the chat.
Yes, I know.
No, I'm like explaining for the people who are listening on as like a podcast. Okay, great. So that means in the coming days, testnet is coming up. MirrorNet. Most app devs will be able to test against it, spin up new nodes, and see and get familiar with the code itself, and report to via post or whatever on GitLab maybe if they find anything, and we should be good to go, I think. It was more or less of an FAQ in the end for me. Do you guys have any other questions?
I just have one question regarding the Ubuntu version. Should we stay with 20.04 or can we go to 22.04?
It's Gandalf's going to say, but I don't necessarily agree with him. I think you're fine to use whichever one you want. I mostly am using 22. A lot of other devs are using 20, but I've been testing, I would say 90% of the time on 22. So.
And we can compile on 22?
Yes.
Okay.
That's when I test, I mean, I compile, build, and run there. So I do everything on the same system.
Okay. It's okay for me.
Cool.
Any
okay.
other questions?
Looks like that's it. Okay, awesome. In that case, we'll well, I guess we'll see each other on chain for the testing very soon.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
everyone.
guess the primary thing is everybody should be getting ready to test their stuff. So allocate some time for testing of apps, and we'll, like I said, I'll make an announcement in the Mattermost core dev channel when we tag a release. But honestly, if you want to do some preliminary testing, you could go ahead with the develop. And the problems we like I said, we know of 2 problems. One only on shutdown, and the other one we have a fix for, but it's not been merged in yet.
Okay, cool. Okay, great.
But so I guess what that means is that the fix we're likely to make probably would allow you to continue if you build with an old one.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Any last comments, questions?
Yeah, I guess and Gandalf said, please don't use it on the mainnet. That's a good point. Do
That's
not
a
use
very
the
good
develop
point.
version on the mainnet. Yeah.
Yeah, yet.
At least as a producer, as a block producer, it's fine to use it. You can hook up to the mainnet and you can test on the mainnet. I mean, just don't use it as your block producer.
Yeah, very good shout out. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay, Crimson Clad said she's going to contact the dapps and witnesses to be sure that they're aware of what's going on, which is great. Okay, thanks, guys. See you.
Bye.
Bye.